Avi, so good to have you in this call. We work together, and I would love to hear more about the experience you had in the program, how you came in, which desire you had, how the transformation felt, and then I would love to hear how are you doing now. So first of all, uh, can you maybe introduce yourself to everyone?
Sure. So, hi guys, my name is Avi. I'm a creative business coach living in Barcelona with Indian roots, and Timon's a friend before being my coach, but because of that beautiful friendship we have, I trusted him and we coached together for 3 months, and I can share more details in a moment, but that's a little bit about me.
Perfect. And what do you do? What's your profession?
So I'm a creative business coach, and I help entrepreneurs, highly ambitious entrepreneurs, coaches, creatives, to build a brand and business from a place of heart-centeredness, heart-led. I think one of the words that you enjoy as well, um, and to make money, to grow their brands and businesses, and to live a life of freedom and abundance, to really grow and expand their potential, and yeah, as a ripple effect of that, make more money as well.
Sounds good. And he's good in it.
Thank you, man. Thank you, bro. Appreciate it.
Hey, I would love to hear. When did you thought like, hey, time can help me, and with what pain points did you came to me where you would love to have help on?
So, I met you 2 years ago, I think, roughly at Soho. And I remember just being around your energy and always feeling really, um, like I felt like I was tapping into higher states, like more abundant states whenever I was around you. Like there was one of those few conversations that I've had in Barcelona where I felt like I was elevating as a person, right? Like this person's mindset's where it needs to be. I want to be around this person more often. I don't know if you proposed, but I remember spending some time with you, and I wanted to tap into again that more abundant, natural, expansive state, which is what we are at our core. And I remember having a chat with you and again feeling that energy through you. So you proposed a program. We spoke about jumping together to me about how you could help me grow my business and bring in some strategies for business alignment as well. So you gave me a couple of sessions around business orientation and how to do sales and some trainings around that, which was great. But I think what really, really helped me, and I sort of didn't even see it coming, was how you crushed my ego. I think that was one of the most um, important things that happened throughout this 3 month journey that I didn't see it coming. I didn't think I was signing up for that. I thought I was signing up to grow my brand and business, which by the way did happen thanks to you. But what happened on a deeper level was I was so much more in my body, so much more in my alignment, so much more connected to God, so much more connected to my intuition. And every single time my ego came up, you knew how to shut it down. You knew how to shut it down. You knew how to move me back into that place of trust, present moment, body wisdom. So yeah, I feel like the journey we did together was um, a lot around moving from here to here, here to here, like going inside, going inside, going inside, and that was
Hmm.
really powerful.
Hmm. Beautiful to hear. Thank you. I'm super curious. You're mentioning like crossing the ego, going from here to here. Why is it important for people and especially entrepreneurs to go from here more in your body?
Um, actually, before working with you, I always heard about things like somatic therapy and all these kind of things, or body wisdom, and I sort of have done some experiences like breath work and all these things where you move from your mind to your body, and the emotions liberate so much wisdom and joy as well, also sadness, all those kind of things, right? And I sort of understood the power of tapping into your body and your wisdom, but not fully. After working with you and knowing that I can be in that state every single day just by breathing and just by consciously moving there and working through my resistances, in those 3 months, I was able to tap into to let go of a lot of the things emotionally that were not serving me, the smallness, the sadness, all those kind of things. But also because of that, tap into more lighter, more intuitive states, more wiser states within me, really access God and move in my business from that state as well. Move in my life, not only my business, move in my relationships, move in my life, move in my day to day, move in my career from that place. And I think when you're moving from that place, something that I loved from the last session you gave me was you're not identified with the ego and the stories. You're not identified with how your body is feeling. You are the observer. You're the conscious observer of all of that, and you get to choose the reality that you want to move in, right? So, like sadness, your ego, your stories, your limited beliefs, they're all guiding you a certain way and they're contracting you sometimes. And you helped me go, all right, have a look at it, feel it, let it go. Now move into the body and move into your power. Regain your power, regain who you truly are. And I think that was um that's not was that still is a game changer for me, because I still wake up every single morning and I do our breathing exercises, looking left and right. I still ground my body every morning. I still look around my surroundings. And the reason I do that is not just because of the practice of doing an exercise that you taught me. It's because I'm training my mind constantly. I'm training myself to come back to who I am, to detach myself from the ego and come back into the body, come back into the present moment, and learn to find joy and enoughness in the present moment. I think before coming to work with you, uh, a recurring limiting pattern that I had in my life and sometimes still shows up, which is okay, much less now, is the not enough pattern. And the not enough pattern is something that materializes in your body because you cramp up, you want more, you're more tense. It materializes in your mind, making you push more. I wasn't even observant. So I knew that that was a pattern, but I didn't know that I could observe that pattern in my body and in my mind. You helped me take a step back from that pattern and from that sensation in my body, from that thought, and to observe how my body is feeling in those moments and to just breathe and let it pass. And the more I've done that in these past few months of working together, the more I'm actually observing those patterns show up and being able to choose. Observing those patterns show up, and again, I can choose. So I have my power back. I think that's one of the biggest takeaways that anyone will get that will work with you. They will regain their power. They will come back to that seat of the soul of who they really are, not what the ego and the body is telling them that they are.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you for sharing. I'm super curious. Within like that we're working together those 3 months, what was the biggest key moment where you had an aha moment?
It's funny you asked me that. I was thinking about it just last night
Okay.
because it was a really, really powerful moment where you used your superpowers. And I think everyone needs to know this. You could spot sadness in me in one of the calls halfway through the program, and you really tried your best to help me through breath work, through connecting with the spirit world, through using all your powers to help me release that sadness. And for some reason, I couldn't. And you did something really special. You said something. You tapped into your intuition and into your gifts, and you said, "I need you to go and grab that book behind you, that white book behind you." And it's as if you knew exactly where to guide me, right? You knew exactly to take me to that book, and then before I even reached that book, I started crying, and I was finally able to release an emotion. And the reason for that is that book, inside that book was a photo of someone that is really close to me and that I had just had a breakup with last year. Um, but somehow you connected to some sort of level of consciousness and your magical, beautiful gifts, and you guided me to that book. I opened that book, and the emotions flooded out. And I will never forget that call because you really channeled something really big. You helped me with a lot of love. Um, but yeah, you used all your gifts and you were super powerful and you were able to crack through me. And I think the ability to do that with someone is huge.
Beautiful. It was a really special moment. Yeah. And I think what you're describing, sometimes for me, it feels as I'm not always the one coaching you. I feel I call my gifts my guiding team. I have the ability to connect with powers that are much higher than I am, much more that they have internal wisdom. Yes, a thumbs up. And from there, sometimes I'm using it when I know on this level what I can see from my own perspective. If I see like, okay, there's no breakthrough, I need to do something, then I'm asking those higher powers, hey, what can I do? And I fully trust his voice. And from there, it came in like, okay, um, yeah, the book grabbed my attention, and I hear the voice like, let him grab it. There's something in it that he needs to know. And you already knew at that moment, like, oh, okay, there's something coming. I had no idea. So I was, it feels at that moment that I'm just watching the show. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. It was a beautiful moment.
It was
Yeah.
a it was a very beautiful moment. I've actually shared that moment with a few close friends of mine, and it's always such a wow moment for me. It's like you knew, yeah, you, and I mean a greater part of you that you're connected to knew where to guide me in order to get the healing, the release, the the breakthrough that I needed, and I felt much better after that conversation itself. I felt so much lighter. Um, Honestly, after every conversation, even when I was really triggered after some conversations, it came with a higher purpose. You didn't trigger without a cause. You triggered always with love, wanting me to expand to bigger versions of me. And I maybe in the moment it was very, I couldn't feel it, but now I really realized the huge impact that had.
Beautiful. Beautiful. How would you describe my coaching style?
Direct. That's, I mean, one word, direct. Um, but with a lot of love, right? Like the directness comes from a place of love, because sometimes sugarcoating things, like I've worked with coaches and I've worked with therapists and mentors before that have given me that sort of sweet, soft container and have held me very, very lightly. And it's been really nice for my gentle heart. It's been like, oh, so nice. But you came in and it's not like you coached my heart, you coached my ego. You went direct into my ego. And once you cracked through my ego, which was trying to hold on to my old ways or to my sadness or to not wanting to feel my feelings, not wanting to grow my business, not wanting to step into my bigness, when you cracked all those limiting beliefs and those patterns in my ego, then you accessed a different level of softness and you coached me with that love as well. You found a very sweet balance, and I really enjoyed that.
Great to hear. Thank you, brother. I'm, I would love to know, like, who do you think would benefit of my coaching? What type of people? Because you just mentioned like you're direct. So for who is this suitable? For who would you recommend to work with me?
Mhm. I would recommend any, um, to be honest, I don't want to say everyone, right? Because that generalizes too much, but anyone that is spending too much time in their mind, please reach out to Timon. Like anyone that's spending too much time overthinking, stressed, worried, in fear, not enoughness, I could have more, I could have done more, spending time in shame, guilt, regret, or sort of like looking down at yourself, speak to Timon, because it's not about negative thinking. It's not about the quality of your thoughts. It's not about what's happening in your life. There's something else that's happening. And the thing that's happening there is you're not in your body. You're not in your body. You're not feeling your feelings. You're not accessing the wisdom, the truth, and the emotions that are there to serve you. And Timon's doing that. He's just helping people move, right? We think we can solve the mind with the mind. It's not even about that. It's about moving into the body and just feeling what you need to feel. So entrepreneurs just like me that may have sometimes limiting beliefs around not enoughness, that are constantly pushing from the mind. Um, yeah, entrepreneurs, coaches, or anyone that has uh, taken a new venture and they're sort of extra hard on themselves, they're pushing themselves a lot, or they're going through some sort of trauma that they're not being able to process or fully get over. If it's mostly because you're in your mind and you haven't entered your body and you haven't felt your feelings. If you want to access deeper truth, deeper wisdom, Timon's the guy.
Beautiful. I feel honored. Thank you, brother.
Thanks, man.
Thank you, brother. Is there something that you would like to advise now based on the knowledge you gained after our program to other entrepreneurs in this stage?
Advise from my stage, or like about your coaching, you mean?
From your stage, from what you learned in the last months when we were working together.
Hmm. Your body is the temple where God lives. Not moving to that place of wisdom, for me, is not fully living. You're living for the mind, you're living for the society, you're living for your conditioning, you're living identified to the ego, desire, the word of desire, the word of need, the word of want, the word of grab, the want, I want more, it's not enough, but you're not fully living from here, from presence. And I think the more I'm moving here, thanks to you and the work we did, the more I'm taking my clients to this place, you're whole here, you're complete. There's no desire here. You're with God when you're with your in your body. You're with your feelings, and your feelings are a beautiful place, and your tempo is complete. There's nothing else you need at that moment. You're just this is everything. This is everything. I'm whole, I'm complete. And I think anyone that is feeling lonely, incomplete, like they still need to chase, like they still need to reach, all of that, it's because again, they're in their mind and they're missing out on a very beautiful gift, which is right here. So, advice, if I can give any entrepreneur that's listening to this, do yourself the favor to move into your body, move into your truth, move into your wisdom, move into your emotions. Your emotions have so much power, so much wisdom, so much strength, and it's uncomfortable, yes, to sometimes face those feelings. But on the other side of those feelings is a door. And that door is more access to light, more access to consciousness, more access to the biggest version of you. So do yourself the favor of accessing the light.
Sounds amazing. I wish the same for everyone. And at the same time, it's not quite common to be connected with emotions and to work with them. Like, why do you think that entrepreneurs have troubles with going through their emotions?
Oh, that's a good one. Um, we have trouble going through our emotions. I'm speaking, we try to relate it to me as well. Um, because we spend too much time in our mind, and our mind is a survival instinct that doesn't want to make space and time to feel your feelings, right? But a lot of the time, entrepreneurship, coaching, whatever, not always. A lot of it is done out of passion, but a lot of the pushing comes out of wanting to prove something, wanting to reach somewhere, wanting to not face our feelings, right? So we compensate facing our feelings and facing loneliness, sadness, and all these things with, oh, money is going to help. A new relationship is going to help. Getting 10K or getting 20K is going to help. Buying another house is going to help. Having my dream apartment and buying those incredible furniture is going to help. Driving my dream car and traveling to the best places in the world is going to help, but it doesn't. You do all those things and it grows, and you keep growing and you keep adding to that vicious cycle. You keep feeding into the ego and to the desires of the mind, and still a part of you feels lonely. The void just gets bigger, the sadness just gets bigger, and every single time you're not on your phone or distracting yourself with the next purchase or the next 10K, you're empty and you're sad, right? So you distract yourself with more growth, more entrepreneurship, more business, more clients. That isn't the solution in the long run. In the long run, what's really going to help you build a business from a really aligned, abundant place, and it's not or, and also be super happy internally and connected to your purpose, connected to your why, is to feel your feelings. You feel your feelings, you let them out of your system, you tap into your natural state, whether it's joy, abundance, freedom, God, lightness, and then you move and create a business from there. It's an and game. It's not an or game. But we feel like when we're building a business, we need to say no to our emotions, and we just need to suck it up and do it for the money and push and push and push until we reach burnout, sadness, loneliness, frustration, all these kind of things. It's not necessary. Take your
We both tried it and it didn't work.
100%. Take your emotions with you, and you're gonna go so much further in life.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you a lot. I think this is really valuable for people to hear. And I really enjoyed coaching you. Uh, you went always all in. Of course, sometimes there was a bit friction that I needed to pull a bit harder. But if if you go deep, there will be moments where it is uncomfortable. And I love to see that you kept the trust and kept doing the work, kept believing in yourself. And yeah, I still love to see your process. I'm super proud of you, brother.
Thank you so much, man. Thank you. I will say that there was many times working with you where I felt like giving up, but your determination to want to help me access higher states of myself kept me going. So I'm so grateful to you for the work we've done. And sometimes I wasn't able to see it there and then, the work we were doing and the impact, but we worked maybe 5, 6 months ago, and I still feel the positive ripple of that today in my life. Like, and it's, I know I'm gonna feel it tomorrow, and I know that whenever I'm out of my body and I'm accessing again and I'm too attached to my ego, I'll know where to move back and I know who to reach out to because you just knew how to get me in there. So I'm super grateful for that, man.
Thank you for sharing your story.
Yeah. Thanks, man.
Thanks, brother. I love it. I'm going to pause the recording. Wow.